What up? What up? What's good, man? Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate it. What's up, brother? International Jaquez. What up, Axum? Yeah, we're gonna talk about some real estate stuff real quick. A lot of people start asking me questions about investing in real estate, that kind of thing. So I like to share knowledge, man, so that I'm not just showing Lamborghinis and like a lot of these car channels, they just show you their cars and like having fun with the cars, but they don't show you what goes on behind the scenes to be able to afford the car. So I like to share that kind of information because I'm thinking about the kid in me and what I was like as a kid. And I every time I saw a supercar or a Lamborghini or something like that, which wasn't a lot when I was growing up, but when I did see one, the first thing that popped in my head is what does that person do to be able to afford that car? Because I want to learn how to do that. So that's what this live stream is about for those people that care to learn a little bit, you know what I'm saying, about what I'm doing behind the scenes to be able to afford the Lambos and stuff. Now it's not all fun and games and hi to Shambria. Hi. Don't worry. Relax. Um, but yeah, so yeah, it's not all fun and games. It's a lot of hard work. The money is not always up. Sometimes the money is down, and you got to make hard decisions and stuff like that, and um, to try to stay on top of your expenses and bills and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's jump right into it. I got about 30 minutes before I got to get something to eat. And Shambria, are you saying hi? Oh, hi. So you got a question, Shambria? Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So I'm looking at questions from the comment section. Now we got 23 people in here, so I should be able to answer 23 questions in 30 minutes. We got 24 people. Hit the thumbs up for me if you would. So somebody asked, Element 7684 said, what is your experience with real estate and rental property investments in the Boston, Rhode Island? I don't have any experience in Boston, Rhode Island. All of my experience in investment in rental properties is in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, to be specific. And specifically, my zip code is where I have most of my properties. And I recommend that if you're going to invest in real estate, that your area, your property area, right? Your zip code and the areas that are close to you, so you know where you can invest. But anyway, I have all my properties in Ohio and Dominican Republic. Now, the properties in Dominican Republic, I have one of them as a rental, and the other one is some family in there. All right. And the one that I had as a rental, I sold it. And I didn't have such a great experience having property in the Dominican Republic. So I don't never talk about it because I don't want, if I had a bad experience, I don't want to say go invest in the Dominican Republic when I didn't even have a good experience there to say I made a bunch of money. If I made a bunch of money in the Dominican Republic, then I probably would talk about it and say, hey, go invest in the Dominican Republic. But I didn't make no money down there. I broke even on my little investment property that I had that I sold. And the other property, like I said, is like a family investment property. So anyway, I don't have a lot of experience in other states, but the same principles that work in my market work in most markets. And the bottom line is when you invest in real estate, you make your money going in by finding a good deal or finding a deal and making it a good deal by getting the terms that you want and the price that you want on a property that you find. All right. So it doesn't matter where it's at. You buy something, you get it below market value. You can invest. What I always do is I invest in making my property the best property in the area from a quality of materials and stuff like countertops and paint selection and just the way the house looks, curb appeal, all that stuff. I invest in that so that it's easier for me to rent it or easier for me to flip it because there's like millions of buyers out there for property and real estate. And all it takes is one person to fall in love with your property, just one out of thousands or millions to fall in love with your property to rent it out or to buy it from you. So I haven't had problems selling houses, renting houses ever in the United States. So there you go. And somebody asked, Executive 007, ex-Executive 007 said, is there a way to stop a potential flip from going into foreclosure by going to the bank directly? The answer is yes. But the problem is if the bank doesn't share their list of upcoming foreclosure properties with you, then you won't have no idea a lot of times unless you see a specific property and you research a specific property and you find out who the bank is to go to them. A lot of times you might not know what properties the bank has that are getting ready to go up for sale or foreclosure or whatever. So yeah, the answer is yes. The banks and it just depends on the bank too. So like some banks, they got to follow a certain process, but other banks you can work with the owner and do, make a deal happen that way. Floyd Henderson said, how do you flip with a skinny bank account? So I guess what you mean by that is how do you do flips if you don't have a whole lot of money? The answer to that is you can get the money. You got to know where to get the money from. If you don't have the money in your bank account, you got to know somebody that does have the money, whether that's a bank or a commercial lending institution or something, or if it's a friend. Like I'll go into business with my friends if they brought me a deal and said, hey, Will, I found this property. It looks like a good deal. Here are the numbers. And here's how much money we can make on a flip. I usually won't go into a partnership with people on a rental because I don't like being tied up long term like that if I'm not in 100% control. But if it's a flip, it's more short term. So somebody brought a flip to me and they didn't have any money, but they wanted to, for example, they wanted to manage the project and get it done. And we would split the profit, for example, and all I had to do was come up with the money. I would do it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would just have to look at the deal. If it's a deal that I normally would do and a friend brought it to me and we're just going to share the money, but they're going to do all the work and all I got to do is write the checks, I would do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a network, you got to get involved in the community of real estate investors where you're at and work with some people that do have money because there's people out there that's looking for deals all the time. And if you do all the legwork, then it'll be easy for them to come up with the money. They just sign a contract that if you mess up, then you lose your part of the deal and then they take it over. Like that's what I would do. Like somebody came to me and brought a deal to me, either I'll pay them a finder's fee or whatever, like say, hey, okay, thanks for doing that. And I'll pay them some money and take over the deal. Or if they want to be partners and split the money, then they got to do the work and I just write the checks. But if they screw up on doing the work, then I'll have something in the contract that says you screw up, then I'll take over and that's it. Like I gotta get it done to recoup. So, so you could do it like that. You can get loans. You can use credit cards even. Like let's say you got a loan to buy the house, but your bank account wasn't big enough to afford the rehab, but you got a line of credit through a credit card or something like that. You can pay for the rehab and the materials and stuff through a credit card. I've done that before. And then when you sell the house on the flip, you pay off that debt that you might have incurred doing the flip, and then you take the profit and then go find another one. It's like it's not really rocket science, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So Shambria Patterson wanted to ask a question. Somebody said, "How many cars do I got?" So first of all, it's how many cars do you have? I'm getting the feeling that you're a younger person. So it's how many cars do you have, sir? No, just joking. But I have some cars for work, and then I have some personal cars. So I have about 7 right now, but they're not all in my personal name. Some of them are in my business name. Like I got 2 trucks for work. I got a car for my daughter, and I got 4 personal cars. There it is. All right, next question. Chino Cherry said, how's it going, brother? How can I take full ownership over my parents' house without making any down payment? Chino, to take full ownership of your parents' house without making a down payment, you got to work that out directly with your parents. And it depends on if the house is paid off or if the house has a mortgage on it. If the house is paid off, all they got to do is go to a title company and work out moving the house from their name to your name through the title company. If the house is not paid off, you got to go to the bank and you got to ask that question: can you assume the loan? And if the bank likes your credit, they might just let you move the loan over from the mortgage over from your parents' name to your name. But you just got to go to the bank that holds the mortgage to ask that question, because every bank is different. Like some banks might just do it. Other banks might be like, yo, you got to fill out you got to do a whole loan mortgage application. And then basically it'll look like you're buying a house from them. And then you got to assume a mortgage with that bank. It just depends on the bank, man. So you got to talk to the bank that owns the mortgage, or you got to talk to a title company if there's no mortgage, and the title company can get it worked out for you. They just charge you probably $500 or something like that. All right. So Tony Nelson said, what's my feeling on, and let me see something. I got top chat and I got live chat. All right. I'm going to work my way up from the bottom. Shy Sox fan for life. I'm going to answer his question because that dude's a long-time subscriber, and I appreciate the support. So my thoughts on tax liens and deeds. My thought on tax liens and deeds is do your research on them. I know some people that are making money with them and have gotten into that, but I'm not one of those people I've never done the tax liens and deeds and that kind of thing. I haven't done that, so I can't speak on it to a high level of detail. All I know is that there are people out there making money on it, but you just got to research it and try to find somebody that's an expert on it, that's done it, and see what their thoughts are on it, like see what they've learned from it and that kind of thing. But I don't claim to be one of those people. Like I made my real estate investment money off the old-fashioned way of doing flips, straightforward flips, and doing buying rental properties straightforward. Now, the trick to a lot of my success with the rental properties and the flips is I bought almost all my houses with foreclosures. Like I didn't buy any I bought a few of homes that I found like regular consumers would find a home, but I found most of my houses on the foreclosure market. All right. And I'll go into the details in my online course. And my online course is available if anybody wants to check it out. I'm offering a 40% discount to my subscribers. Let me see if I have the link real quick. If anybody wants to like learn everything to be ready to start investing when the time comes, I highly recommend the online course. But you can always just tune into my live streams and my real estate one-on-one channel if you don't have the money for the course. But the course is like structured and has everything in it. So let me give you guys a link real quick. So if you want to check out the course, here's the link right here. I got so many windows up on my screen. Here it is right here. So that's the link to the course right there. I just posted in the comments or the chat, the live chat. All right, let me see what other questions we got. Let me pause. Let me see if I can pause this chat real quick. Damian Hayes said, have I ever purchased property outside of my home state? I've purchased property outside of the company. I purchased property in the Dominican Republic, and I'm looking at purchasing property in Colombia, but I'm not so sure about it just yet because I think I got to know exactly where I want to be before I buy property down there. But I purchased property out of the country in the Dominican Republic. It wasn't very profitable. The market, it wasn't profitable. I just put it like that. And I think it had a lot to do with just the location where I bought the property and the country in general, the way they do things. I didn't really have a good experience. Now, as far as inside the United States, I'm looking at property in Florida. I looked at property in Vegas, Nevada, but the market has turned around like so quick that the market is up right now, and so I'm watching the market right now instead of buying a whole bunch of property right now. So I haven't bought anything out of my state in the United States just yet. All right, so not yet, man. But I would do it if I had to. But the problem is like it's not really a problem. But the thing is, here where I'm at, there's good deals to be had. Like, and where I'm at, man, I haven't had no problems finding renters or finding people to buy one of my properties. Like, if I put a property up for sale right now, there would be a bidding war on my property. Like, how can you beat that? Where I'm at right now, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and the properties aren't crazy expensive like California and New York. All right, but there's better places. Hold on a second. There's better places, that are even cheaper. There's Texas, Georgia, the Carolinas. You can find good property down there for good prices. You just gotta have a team. Like, so if you're thinking about buying real estate in another city or state outside of your area, you gotta have a team in that area. So what I mean by a team, and I go into this in my course in detail, but what I mean by a team, real quick, is a realtor, agent to help you out, and then that's buying a property and seeing the properties and stuff. And then once you get a property, who's going to fix it for you? Who is going to work on that property for you? You got to have that team in place when you start looking at investing in properties overseas. All right. So that's my 2 cents on that. Not overseas, but out of state. You know what I'm saying? What are my thoughts on purchasing land? Jermaine Robinson. I like the idea of purchasing land, but if you get ready to purchase land, you just got to understand it's probably not going to be a quick flip. Purchasing land is probably going to be more of a long-term solution or strategy, but not like a short-term strategy. So you got to be ready for that. You feel me? That's the thing about purchasing land. Like, I bought a piece of land and I'm building a house on the land right now. So I had a strategy for trying to maximize what I would make on that property immediately. Feel me? So by building a house and then renting it out or selling it. All right, Marker said, would you rather rent a property long term or Airbnb? It depends on the location. In some locations, Airbnb is really good and strong. But if Airbnb is not a strong option, depending on the location of the house, then renting it is probably a better option. But you can always start by listing a property for rent at like a high price, and then renting it or listing it for rent on Airbnb. But see, the thing is with Airbnb, you got to have that thing furnished. So you got to have all of that set up and ready to go. But you got to just look at the area and the demand for rental properties or Airbnb properties in that specific area. So I got lucky. I had one property that I did Airbnb with, and I talk about it in my course. Plug in my course real quick in case anybody wants to learn. But I talk about it in my course, and I show the property and everything, show the numbers on it and how I listed it. But that property did well. It was my highest grossing property in my portfolio for a minute. So you could do well, man, with either. It just depends on the location. So you just gotta see what the demand is. Adrian Lawson said, I'm in college right now and I'm interested in investing in real estate. How can I build my credit while in school? I'm not a credit expert, man. I just know that when you get credit, you got to make your payments on time and you got to protect your credit reputation from people trying to put stuff on your credit. So I would say what I did in college is I had a little cheap credit card. I would use it. When I did use it, I wouldn't carry a high balance on it. From what I understand with the credit cards, what you got to do is keep the balance below 20%, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. But and pay on it every month, or you use it one month and then pay it off the next month to show that you're utilizing the credit that you have, but you're not abusing the credit that you have. So like if you got a credit card with $500 limit, like I had when I was in college, I went and bought some rims for my car, and I maxed out that credit card for $500, and my credit probably was looking suspect for a minute. But I made all my payments on time though, on those rims that I bought. So you don't want to go and do something like that. You might use the credit card to go to the movies and then pay it off the next month. You use the credit card to buy some books and then pay it off the next month. You know what I'm saying? You build a credit history and just pay everything on time and keep your balances low, man. That's my advice on that. All right, so let's see what other questions we got. Let's see here. Nick 8 said, do you suggest 20% down, 30-year loans for all investment properties to keep some money free for other investments? If you can do that, the answer is yes. But you can't always do that as an investor, is get those 30-year loans. You got to find, like, basically when I was doing my first rental property deals and getting loans, I could only get a certain number of what they call consumer loans with that 30-year term. After I had like 4 properties, every other property that I got, they were doing, investor loans, which were like 15 years or 10 years. So I don't know why the banks do that, because it's a risk. It's a question of risk and how they feel about the risk. But there's still some, banks that will do the 30-year loans, or what a lot of banks will do is they'll do an interest only loan. So your payment is low, and then you can pay whatever you want towards the principal to keep your payment down. So if you have a month where you had some repairs and your money ain't looking real tight, you could just pay the minimum interest payment. But then you have a normal month where your cash flow is good, then you could put some more towards the principal if you want to. So a lot of banks will do that. So that's the answer to that, Nick H. And let's see. RJ2708 said, I'm wanting to buy a rental using business credit, then cash refi on the actual property. Properties are indeed that cheap in Texas. Yeah. So that's definitely a good strategy. And Chino Cherry said, how much is the online course? So I have a link that I'm putting on here right now. The course, I built the course to charge $495 and $495 for the course. But for my subscribers, you get 40% off. So it ends up being $297 for the course. And that's the link if you want the discount right there. So if you're serious about like investing in real estate, I would recommend the course, because the course is like $297. The thing about this course is you have access to me to answer questions. So once you get inside the course, if you have questions about the content, you can post a comment on the content and then I'll answer it, usually like right away. So you have access to me. But here's the thing about learning to invest in real estate. Once you buy the course, you'll have access to it forever. So if you take the course and you learn from it, and you maybe are not ready to start buying real estate or investing in real estate right away, but when an opportunity shows up, you'll have the knowledge to be able to act quickly when the opportunity shows up. If you have that knowledge, that's the value of the course. And with the course being a few $100s, you're either going to save thousands of dollars because you don't do a bad deal because you learn, or you're going to make thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, because you learn the fundamentals. And I show everything. Like the one like value proposition of my online course is I show you everything. Like I show you all of my properties, and I show you everything that I paid for them properties. I show you how much they're worth. You see my whole portfolio and everything. And there's like no secrets in my course. So there it is. Like I plugged it, it's not about plugging everything all the time, because I do okay financially, so I don't need to have the course making my money, but I put a lot of time. I put like all of 2018, all my free time into building that course, and it's thorough. So RJ2708, appreciate the the what do you call it? Super chat. Appreciate that, bro. I don't know who NBA young boy is, Shambria. I'm not sure who that is. Sounds like a young boy, and I'm not a young boy. You feel me? So I don't know who that is. Anyway, what up, Travis Turner? What's up, DJC10? What's good? All right, so the definition of determination. If I would have invested all my student loan money in real estate at the beginning 10 years ago, yeah, you would probably. That's right. You gotta be careful. But like you gotta recognize too, like when the market was down, let me give you guys some real basic knowledge about real estate. This is how I got my start. This is how I knew what I was doing in real estate as a beginner. And then I had to get the knowledge after I knew this basic thing. Here's the basic thing, right? I live in Columbus, Ohio. So strong economy. So if you're going to invest in real estate, look for a city that has a strong economy. So in 2010, when everybody was like letting their houses go and the market was down on real estate and all the markets and money and everything was down in the economy, right? But what I saw with my own two eyes is that people were still working and people still had good jobs. It's just that they didn't have confidence in the real estate market or the stock market or the economy. They didn't have confidence in it, but they still had jobs. Unemployment was a little bit higher, but like when you talk about unemployment rates, be like 5% and it went to 6% or 7%. Now that's a big deal. Like when you start looking at the number of people, but it's a small deal in the grand scheme of things. Like, okay, a couple percent of people more are taken out of the buying market, like because they don't have money because they don't have a job right now. So I knew that the economy was low, but employment was still good. And like in general, people still had jobs. Like it wasn't the end of the world. So I was looking at the fact that nobody was buying houses. So the prices of houses was going down. But I knew like the houses have value because people pay way more with the same job that they had just a few years ago. They paid way more for the house. So I'm like, okay, so in the future, when they just get confidence about the economy, they're gonna start buying again. They just don't have no confidence. So that's why they're not buying. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to buy because I got confidence that sooner or later it's gonna go up. Because the only thing is just people's mentality and what they was reading in the media and they were scared. So I was like, you know what? There's gonna be millionaires made off of this falsely low real estate market. So to me, that was just common sense. Because the other thing is to look at this, right? If people are not buying houses, but they still got to go to work every day and they still got to have some place to live, they're just not buying houses. What does that mean? If they're not buying houses, that means they're renting houses. So why not be the person to buy when the houses are cheap, when everybody's scared to buy houses? Why not be that person not scared to buy the house and then charge people rent because there's less houses to rent because nobody wants to buy. So you can charge more for your rent. That's common sense. Like for me, that was common sense as a businessman. But I looked at that situation and I decided to start buying real estate off of that. Just common sense. Because people still had jobs and they still had to have some place to live. So why not be the person to buy the house for cheap and then rent it out? And then when they start getting confident and wanting to buy houses again, then you can start flipping houses and start selling them. So that's what I did. I started selling houses, paying off taxes and paying off mortgages, and I still keep some houses, so I still rent some houses. But if I ever want to sell a house, like the market is strong. So either way the market goes, once you get into real estate, it's either going to be a renter's market or like a buy sell market, like to do flips. So if it's not a flip market, like right now the market's high, so you could flip and stuff. But it's not really, to me, it's not as good of a market for doing rentals unless you just find really good deals. Like I found one a year ago or 2 years ago when the market was still high. I found a good rental, but I've been doing flips though lately. And to be honest, what up, Mike Granger? What's up, brother? Shout out to Mike G, super producer, my family from way back when. Shout out Mike G. But yeah, so it's like for me, it's either a flip market or it's a rental market. And right now it's like a flip market. So I haven't I haven't been buying properties as much lately, but what I'm trying to do is prepare for if the market drops again, prepare to be able to buy. So you got to have your credit looking tight. You got to have a little bit of money coming in to be able to be able to buy some stuff. Um, or occasionally you might find that flip. So you might find a beat up house in a nice neighborhood, and you want to invest in making that house nice again. Then this will be a perfect market to flip and sell that house because there's a lot of buyers out there looking for houses to buy. But if the market crashes again, then now the people that invested in knowledge and learning how to invest in real estate, if the market crashes again, then you'll be like, oh, I could jump all over it. You'll be ready. You can start buying cheap houses and renting them out. And then when the market comes back up, your money is going double, triple, or quadruple, or even more. So that's the basics. Shout out to the Definition of Determination for dropping that. Shout out to Mike Jeezy, my people. All right, so Mr. Most Unlikely to Succeed, Tony, please post a video of racing the Huracan. Yeah, I'm definitely the Huracan race videos are coming. What's up from Texas? I'll be down there in a couple weeks. What's up, Terrell Moses? Shout out to Terrell for being my designated cameraman when I was in Cali. For getting me a lot of footage. Hey Terrell, shoot me some of those pictures you got, man. I know them pictures was good, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop that DDE video with the footage that you got. But I need one of them pictures. If you got any, that I could use as a thumbnail. Right. So Executive 007 said our people pay $200 on Jordans and Yeezys, and I'm charging $200 for the real estate course that can make people money. I tried, man. I'm trying to do, I put my all into that course. So, so far, I'll keep it real with you. I haven't really launched the course and started marketing it, but I do have a handful of students in there that's getting it in. And the good thing is the first students that get on the course will have more access to me because there's going to be less students in there at the beginning. So they'll have more access to ask me questions and I'm answering them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked me a question on the course yet that I haven't answered. So there it is. But yo, Travis Turner, the Huracan is here now, man. Check out the live stream that I did about an hour ago. The Huracan is just got here, so it's in the garage. I'll start doing videos with it, but I got more videos coming too. I got at least four more videos from my trip to Cali that I'm gonna drop. Yeah, so let's see. DJ C10 said, if you're not looking to go into real estate right away, but you own or want to create a business, start reading the book Black Business Secrets. Will collabed on that book. That's cool, man. That's the dude who wrote that book. His name is Dante Lee, and he's like my little brother. Love him to death. That's my boy. And yeah, he's a genius. So like he wrote that book. It's dope. Yeah, check it out for sure. Cameron Gramman. Cameron, what's your question, bro? Just ask me again. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, Cameron Gramman said, what if your credit is bad, so you take a bad real estate deal just to get in the door? Would you suggest it? No. Listen, Cameron asked, if your credit is bad, would you take a bad deal just to get into the real estate game? No, don't do that. If your credit is bad, you want to be more careful so that you can make your credit good and you get good deals. Now, I'm assuming what you meant by bad deal was maybe the financing terms. So maybe you have to pay a higher percentage on your mortgage. Like, so for example, I'm gonna try to break this down for people who don't know about like mortgages and investing in real estate. And like, so most of the time when somebody buys a piece of real estate, they get a mortgage or a loan. A mortgage is just a loan that's for a house. All right. So when you get a mortgage, usually the percentage rate or the interest that you have to pay the bank to have that loan, on top of the principal that you pay every month towards your loan, usually the mortgage rates are lower because the loan is secured by the real estate, which means if you don't pay, the bank could go get the house to get their money back. And that means it's secured by the house. So the loan rate is lower because it's less risk. Now, the question was, if your credit is bad, would you take a bad deal just to get into the real estate game? Now I'm saying no in general, don't take a bad deal. But if you're talking about paying a higher interest rate, and that's a bad loan deal because you have to pay more interest on that loan, then I'm going to say it just depends on what you're doing with that investment. So, for example, normally somebody might pay a 5% interest rate because their credit is good to get a mortgage. Now, if you're saying your credit is bad and you got to pay 10% interest, which is a bad deal on the real estate, if you're going to flip that house and you have to pay a higher loan rate at 10%, but you're going to do a flip and you're going to make 50 grand on that flip, or 60,000, or even 25,000 on that flip, then yeah, the interest rate doesn't matter if you don't hold the house for that long. So you might be paying a little bit more interest for 3 months while you flip the house or get it ready to flip. But then you're going to sell it and you're going to pay off the loan and be done with it and make your profit. Then it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you mean by a bad deal, you're talking about paying a higher interest rate. But you guys got to look at the numbers, man. Real estate is about numbers, and I get real in detail in my course. And I don't mean to be like, it ain't all about plugging my course, but hey, if you want to support me and you want to learn about real estate, there it is. That's my link to my course. But I get into the details of that. I get into the details of how you look at the numbers to make a good deal. And then you can make a decision. If you pay a couple extra $100 a month to the bank because you got bad credit, but you're only paying $200 extra a month, and you're going to flip the house after 3 months, so it adds up to an extra $600, and you're going to make 60,000, then that's not really a bad deal. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad deal, but it's just a higher interest rate. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to take a bad real estate deal. So when I think of deal, I'm not necessarily thinking of the bank deal. I'm thinking about the deal of what you can buy a house for. How much can you get the house for? How much are you going to have to put into it, and how much you're going to make on it, either in rental income or in profit from a flip. That's the deal for me. So you don't never want to take a bad deal on that side for anything. And if you do get a property and it turns out to be a bad deal where you can't flip it for a profit, then you better rent that thing out and make it really nice so you can maximize the rent that you get, and just sit on it until it becomes it becomes a good opportunity to flip. All right. So I got 80 people in here. If you guys hit the thumbs up for me, I'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes answering questions. But y'all got to hit the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? I got 80 people in here and 34 thumbs up. The number of thumbs up should be at least 50. Come on, man. Or else if you guys don't want to get any more real estate knowledge, don't worry about it, and then I'll catch up on another live stream. But if y'all want me to keep going, man, just hit the thumbs up and I'll answer some more questions. So let me see where we're at. All right, yeah, that's what's up. Y'all hit the thumbs up for me. Appreciate it. And if you notice, the cool thing about YouTube, if you hit the thumbs up, like if a lot of people hit the thumbs up, you'll watch people start coming into the live stream because YouTube will share it with more people and show it to more people. So that's why you hit thumbs up. All right. Steak guy, man. I'm not into that fruity stuff, bruh. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Element 7684 said, do I get a property manager or manage myself? It depends on like what you're comfortable with. I'm used to running business and dealing with customers and clients and stuff, so I manage the properties myself. And I got a little bit of help from some people around me that, my friends and stuff, but I manage them myself. But when I first got started, I wasn't doing it myself because I was just starting my business. I was too busy. So I had a property manager and they charged me 10%, and they did a good job managing the property, like where I was hands off, but they would be taking more than 10% because they would do inside jobs like on the repairs and charge me whatever they wanted. So it ended up hurting me, and they were charging me too much money. Like they wasn't looking out to save me money on the expenses that would come up. So that's why I choose to you know, manage my own properties. And to Wesley, no offense, dude, I just, you know, I'm not comfortable with that. So let's see. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. Hey, I appreciate the thumbs up, man. 62 thumbs up, appreciate it. All right, so let's see what y'all ask the questions now, man. Like, so I can answer your questions. And Reginald Bryant, yeah, I appreciate you, man. If you sign up today, it's 40% off the course. And if you ask a question related to the content, it comes right to my email, and I click the button and I answer the question like right there. And I'm thinking about doing something where I have like a mentor group on Voxer. It's an app that I use a lot where everybody can get into that group and we can talk about real estate. And you know, I can answer questions there as long as it doesn't get out of control. So Show Me Cars said, hold on, man, state guy. About to get put up out of here. I don't know what a BBC is, but don't sound right. The anime librarian said, what's the horsepower figure on the Lambo? I can't disclose that due to a contract I have with VF Engineering. I got to do some races first, and then I'll be able to disclose the horsepower of my supercharger. All right. Any trips set up for Washington State? Actually, man, I'm out there. I got 2 clients in Washington State. I got Amazon and Microsoft, so I'm out there at least 2 times a year. So the next time I go out there, I'll make an announcement on the channel. Show Me Cars said, what's a good way to look for an investment property? All right, so that's something that's in the course as well, but I'll give you a quick answer. But in the real estate course, I go into detail and I show you exactly how I do it. Like on the screen, we go through the process and everything. And there's several different ways. So the question is, what's a good way to look for an investment property? Now, my number one way that I use to find investment properties was HUDHomestore.com, which is the Housing and Urban Development Department. It's a government agency that deals with homes that have been foreclosed on through FHA. So FHA backed loans. And when I first started getting into real estate, there was a lot of properties that they had in my zip code, like over 100. And I start going through that list of properties. My realtor actually showed me this website. Shout out to Rich the realtor, my realtor. He showed me this website. I went on the website and I started going through the houses and I started bidding on those houses that were available to investors. That's my number one way. But when there's not a whole lot of foreclosures, like right now, there's not a whole lot compared to when I first started investment. So there's not a lot of properties on HUD Home Store right now in my zip code. But in your zip code, there might be some, or in other places you can look around. So now it's a little bit more complex and strategic on how you find good investment properties. And you got to just basically cover all the bases, which could be prospecting. Prospecting is going out and doing advertisements to get people to let people know that you want to buy houses as investments. So like you see those signs on the side of the road that say, I'll buy ugly houses or something like that. That's called prospecting. So you go out and you can market to find potential investment properties. Number 2, you could deal with realtors that deal with investors that will give you a list of investment properties. Number 3, you can find wholesalers that will give you investment deals, and they keep a list of investors and they send you deals that they found through their prospecting, and all they want is a commission on that, or they want a finder's fee on that, a wholesaler's fee, and they'll sell the deal to you that way. That's what wholesalers do. Number 4, you can find properties through networking. And then number 5, like I found a lot of properties by just going online and searching every property that came up for sale as soon as it came up for sale to find out who owned it and to be able to make an offer on it quickly before anybody else. And I'll show you how to do that in the course, like in detail. So, but that's your quick answer to your question. All right. Hey, Cammy, what's up, Cammy? Why, Cammy? Appreciate all your comments on my videos and your support. So, sweat equity, contractors, a new investment is it better to start flipping with a single family home or multi-unit? If you want to do flips, I highly recommend single family homes, not condos, not multi-unit. The reason why is if you're doing flips, especially if you're a beginner, you want to give yourself the best chance to be successful. And the best chance to be successful is to go after the market, the largest market of buyers, which will be for single family homes. So if you want to be able to have a product that appeals to the largest market, then buy single family homes to do flips. And then you might come across deals where it's a multi-family unit or whatever, or even a condo. But you got to be real careful with both of those because the market is smaller for people that want to buy condos and multi-units in general. Now there's some places, some cities or markets where condos are hot. So if you find a good deal for a condo in a hot market, then you might be all right. But like where I'm at, single family homes rule. Period. There you go. Damian Hayes said, how much experience do I have with wholesaling? I don't have a lot of experience at all with wholesaling. I don't do wholesaling. For me, I'm too greedy. Like, not that I'm too greedy for real, but if I'm going to invest my money, I invest my money to make the maximum amount that I can with every dollar that I have. So being a wholesaler is different. Like you're really not the investor. So like if I'm a wholesaler, let's say I find a really good deal, why would I give that deal to somebody else to make money with it instead of me taking the whole deal? That's why I don't do wholesaling. If I find a good deal, I'm trying to do it myself. And every deal that I find, I would try to buy it myself, or else like I would, that's just the way I look. That's why I haven't done wholesaling. So I don't have anything against it. I think it's good because I've worked with some wholesalers, but I've never done it for myself because if I find a good deal, I want the deal for me. That's why I haven't done wholesaling, bro. But it's a good way to get in. If you don't have money to invest, you can learn about wholesaling. And I'm not an expert on wholesaling. I talk about it in my course, and I did research on it, and I shared it in my course. But I don't claim to be an expert in wholesaling. So TJ Versatile James said he ran numbers and figured out he would make money if he rented out his primary residence and moved into an apartment. What do I think? And thanks for all that I do. I appreciate that, bro. If you can make money, now how much money are you talking about? For me, I don't like doing a rental property if the money is less than $400 a month in profit. I don't like to do it because it's risky because of the repairs and stuff that could come up. Repairs can come up and wipe out all your profit for a year if you're not careful. So if you can make money and you're talking about $100 extra or $200 extra, I don't even do those kind of deals for a rental because it's too risky. I'd rather just do flips if that's what kind of margin you're talking about. But if you're talking about renting out your primary residence and living in an apartment and making, how much money are you going to make, man? If you're going to make an extra $500 after you pay for your apartment and pay your mortgage, then maybe it might be worth doing that. The other option would be, where are you with your house? Do you have any equity in the house? Can you pull the equity out? And if you pull it out, can you find a flip, take the equity out of your house, put it towards that flip, make 50 grand or 40 grand or 30 grand or even 25 grand on a flip, put your money, sell the flip, put your money back into your house, and then keep going. You know what I'm saying? that might be an option for you. Now, if you could make money renting out your primary residence and move into an apartment, why would you spend money on an apartment? Instead, why don't you rent out your primary residence, find a fixer upper, move into the fixer upper while you fix it up, and instead of paying rent every month to an apartment complex, pay for a fixer upper that's cheap, live in it, fix it up, take your time fixing it up, and then you got another property that you can rent out. Then rent that one or flip that one, and then move into another one using your credit to buy another house, and then fix it, and then flip it or rent it, and then you got a portfolio or you got some money that you're making instead of apartment. I just personally, from what I've seen in 45 years of life, I highly recommend everybody, even the people that rent from me, I highly recommend that they try to buy their own house, and buy a house at a good deal. And if they ever have to move, just rent the house out and have something. Because when you turn 65 years old and you've been renting for your whole life, and you turn 65 years old, all that money that you paid in rent will be gone, and you won't have any asset, like you won't have a home as an asset. But if you bought a house and you rented it out because you had to move into an apartment or whatever, but you still got that house that you bought and somebody's paying for that mortgage, when you turn 65, it might be paid off. And at least you got, $100,000 house or whatever, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of a house as an asset when you get older. At least you got that. You feel me? So for anybody that's out there listening, at least own your own house. And if you rent from me or whatever, shout out to everybody that has rented a place from me and everything like that. But I really recommend that even the people that rent from me try to buy a house like as soon as possible. Like renting should be a temporary thing. Because look at it. Look, let me give you some numbers, right? Let me give you some numbers, right? You're an adult, right? Let's say the average adult, by the time they turn 25 years old, they move out and they pay rent. Now let's be conservative, right? Let's say you pay in rent, let's say $800 a month. Now let's say you pay that for a year. 800 times 12, that's $9,600 a month by the time when you're 25 years old. Now let's say you rent until you turn 65. So that's 40 years later. So what's 9,600 times 40? You know how much money that is? That's $384,000 that you paid in rent, and probably more than that because the rent's going to be going up as you get older because you're going to be living in nicer apartments, or it's just going to go up because of cost of living. So you're going to be paying $384,000 in rent for apartments and stuff and moving around when you could have bought a house. And even if you had to move and rent it out, somebody could have been paying you $800 a month for your house and paid you $384,000 by the time you get 65 years old, and you got $384,000 sitting there waiting for you when you're older. That's why I say you should buy a house, man. Like a lot of people are against it. Like I seen Gary Vee saying he doesn't believe in buying a house. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you're a hustler and you can make things happen with your intelligence and your skill set, and you know how to use your money to make your money double, triple, and flip your money as an entrepreneur, then maybe buying a house and tying up your money isn't the way to go when you're younger and you're hustling. But for the average person is not an entrepreneur and a hustler and know how to like invest in things that can double, flip, triple, and flip their money, right? So the average person is not like what people are saying, don't buy a house, like take all your money and gamble it on your future on like stuff that you want to make into a business, because the average person can't do that. But the average person can eventually get a loan and buy a house. And so what I'm saying is if you renting from 25 to 65 and you pay an average of $800 a month in rent or more, then and by the time you turn 65, that would be $384,000 that you threw away in rent. What I'm saying is buy a house. And if you got to move or whatever reason you can't stay there, rent it out. Let somebody else pay down the mortgage and pay you that $800 a month. So at least later on in life, you got something sitting there making you some money or some money that you can pull out. If it's any lesson of the day, that's the lesson of the day. And then once you buy that house and you get familiar with real estate, then you'll be ready to buy the next one and the next one and the next one. The next thing you know, you got a real estate portfolio like Will Motivation. That's what I did. Like I bought my first house. When I was going through a divorce, I needed a condo. I bought the condo instead of renting it. Now that same condo pays for my taxes in my current house. So my payment is lower in my current house because that first condo. The first house that I bought, when I bought that house, my mortgage payment was $1,100, $1,200 a month. Now that house makes $1,700 a month for me in rental income. They're paying off my mortgage and paying me some extra money every month because I bought that. Now, if I had rented that house, I would have no money coming in. And let me tell you the other thing about that house. I bought it for $160,000. The mortgage is paid down to about $90,000 right now, and it's worth $220,000. So I got $120,000 sitting there for me because I decided to buy that house, even though I'm not paying nothing for it because I got a renter in there. You feel me? Lesson of the day. Like if that don't make sense to the average person, why you should own some real estate, then I don't know what to tell you for real. There it is, folks. All right, yo, I appreciate everybody tuning into the live stream, man. We're going on almost an hour. I got 4 minutes left, and I'm gonna get something to eat because I'm hungry. All right, y'all, let me know any last minute questions. So let's see. Hey Jermaine, just keep the link. It's good for the first 100 people that use it, so you should be good. Just keep that link. Here's a link to anybody that wants that discount on the online course right there. But yeah, man, lesson of the day. If you're renting right now, think about finding a deal for a house and buy it. Find a good deal for a house and buy it. And if you got to move out of the house later, rent it out or flip it for a profit. If you can't make a profit flipping it, rent it out and then go do whatever you got to do. If you got to rent someplace else, handle it, but keep that property and rent it out. Because I know, you know, I feel bad because I got some friends like that let their houses go, and I didn't really have the knowledge at the time to be able to help them and advise them or whatever. But you know, I'm trying to do it now through YouTube. Anybody that cares to listen, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys tuning into this live stream. Now here, we got 76 people on this live stream. Now, I'm not doing real estate videos on Will Motivation because the Will Motivation channel is now going to be focused on motivation with the cars, right? And I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing behind the scenes, but the video titles and stuff are going to be related to cars because YouTube penalizes me when I change the topic of my videos. So I had to create a whole new channel just for real estate talk. So the channel is called Real Estate 101, and you can subscribe to that channel for the free knowledge on real estate. Let me give you the link to the YouTube channel because you need to go subscribe so that you get all my real estate videos that I'm dropping for free. So let me give you the link real quick. My channel, leave this page. I'm gonna give you the link to the new real estate channels right here. So go to this channel and subscribe if you have not already, because this is where I'm dropping all my real estate videos. And I'm getting ready to line up a bunch of videos to drop like on a daily basis. Every other day is gonna be a video dropping about real estate for at least a couple of months. So subscribe to that real estate channel real quick. Super important. And I can see Cameron just signed up. Matter of fact, y'all sign up and I'm gonna shout y'all out right now. Cameron just signed up for the real estate channel. Dominique Barr just signed up. Jose Rivera just signed up. Larry II just signed up. Channing just signed up. Shy Sox Fans for Life just signed up on the new real estate channel. If you haven't signed up, go ahead and click it. Kiloetry just signed up. Benny Sims just signed up. Shoye Pharrell just signed up. High Roller Sweet just signed up. Come on, man, y'all sign up because that's free knowledge. There's no cost to join that channel, and that's where I'm gonna be dropping all my real estate knowledge. So High Roller Sweet signed up. Anthony Davis just signed up. Element 7684 just signed up. Tom M just signed up on the new real estate channel. Jessica Kamek, shout out to the females because we don't have a whole lot of females. So I always give special attention to the ladies because ladies come first. So thanks to Jessica Kamek for signing up on the new Real Estate 101 channel. And anybody else that wants to sign up for the real estate knowledge, that's the link right there. Just go to that channel and hit subscribe, and I'm gonna shout you out, and then I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna log off of here. So we got Element 7684, we got Tom M, we got Jessica Kamek, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks a million. James Rowe, you just signed up. Let me see. I'm waiting for the notification to show up over here. Old Soul 87 just signed up. I appreciate y'all because hey, that channel, with me separating the content from the car stuff to the real estate stuff, YouTube likes that because now YouTube is promoting my Will Motivation channel more to my subscribers on Will Motivation. And on the real estate channel, if you hit the notification bell after you subscribe, you're going to be getting those notifications. But all of the people that I have on Will Motivation aren't interested in the real estate stuff. So what happens is YouTube won't share my video to everybody because they think the video is not interesting based on the response rate. All right, Old Soul 87 just signed up. Damian Easley just signed up. Shout out, man. Appreciate y'all. Rocky Daboa, what's up, brother? Man, make sure you sign up for that new. Here's the link, bro. Here's the link right here. Go there and then hit subscribe. Go there and hit subscribe for all my real estate content. And tonight I'm gonna load up a bunch of real estate content to drop every other day on that channel. All right. Yeah, man. You got YouTube is picky, man. If I don't keep my content consistent, like either car stuff or whatever, YouTube penalizes you. So I had to separate the content, man. So I appreciate the support for those that subscribe to both channels. But if you want the real estate content, go to that link and then hit subscribe. All right. So we got Johnny Cardoza. Gracias, hermano. We got Mark Marker. What's up, bro? I see you in the comments, man. I see you, Mark Marker. That name is difficult to forget. Hey, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Click the like button if you want. So if anybody's watching this video, I'm going to keep it up for like 24, 48 hours on my channel. But the number one thing to do is subscribe to my Real Estate 101 channel by clicking the link in the comments or in the description of this video. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And thanks. And also thanks and shout out to those people that signed up for my real estate course, which is learn.willmotivation.com. Peace.